Hello, hello. I am going to continue to read from The Great Gatsby. I'm going to start on page 65, which is chapter 4. And I'm just going to read a couple pages a day. I've not read a single page of Great Gatsby in about a month, and so now I want to get back into it. So, um, rather do a little bit and try to do it every day than try and do a lot every like 5 or 6 days. So let's see how that works out. So page 65 to 60, like 67. Chapter 4, Great Gatsby. On Sunday morning, while church bells rang in the villages along the shore, the world and its mistress returned to Gatsby's house and twinkled hilariously on its lawn. He's a bootlegger, said the young ladies, moving somewhere between his cocktails and his flowers. One time he killed a man who had found out that he was nephew to von Hindenburg and second cousin to the devil. He reached me a rose, honey, and poured me a last drop into that there crystal glass. Once I wrote down on the empty spaces of a timetable the names of those who came to Gatsby's house that summer. It's an old timetable now, disintegrating at its folds and headed, quote, this schedule in effect July 5th, 1922, unquote. But I can still read the gray names, and they will give you a better impression than my generalities of those who accepted Gatsby's hospitality and paid him the subtle tribute of knowing nothing whatsoever about him. From East Egg, then, came the Chester Beckers and the Leaches, and a man named Bunsen, who I knew at Yale, and Dr. Webster Civet, who was drowned last summer up in Maine, and the Hornbeams and the Willie Voltaires, and a whole clan named Black Buck, who always gathered in a corner and flipped up their noses like goats at whoever came near. And the Ismays and the Christies, or rather Hubert Auerbach and Mr. Christie's wife, and Edgar Beaver, whose hair they say turned cotton white one winter afternoon for no good reason at all. Clarence Endive was from East Egg, as I remember. He came only once in white knickerbockers and had a fight with a bum named Eddie in the garden. From farther out on the island came the Cheadles and the O.R.P. Schraders and the Stonewall Jackson Abrams of Georgia and the Fishguards and the Ripley Snells. Snell was there for 3 days before he went to the penitentiary, so drunk out on the gravel drive that Mrs. Ulysses Sweat's automobile ran over his right hand. The Danceys came too, and S.B. Whitebait, who was well over 60, and Morris A. Flink, and the Hammerheads, and Beluga the tobacco importer, and Beluga's girls. From West Egg came the Poles and the Mulradys and the Cecil Roebuck and Cecil Schoen and Gulick, the state senator, and Newton Orchid, who controlled films par excellence, and Eckhoust, and Clyde Cohen, and Don S. Schwartz, the son, and Arthur McCarty, all connected with the movies in one way or another. And the Catlips and the Benbergs and G. Earl Muldoon, brother to that Muldoon who afterwards strangled his wife. De Fontano, the promoter, came there, and Ed Legros and James B. Rotgut Ferret, and the Dijongs and Ernest Lilly. They came to gamble, and when Ferret wandered into the garden, it meant that he was cleaned out, and Associated Traction would have to fluctuate profitably the next day.